Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I would like us to talk about the new and actually first Emperor's Children combat patrol. Actually, this combat patrol was confirmed at the moment that these new miniatures were announced, but of course before sharing my first opinions and impressions about this combat patrol, I wanted to see those kits to properly judge how good I think that they are. And with that being said, I don't need to remind you that this video is just my opinion, and that's why I invite you to let me know in the comments what you think about the new Emperor's Children combat patrol. So let's talk about the contents. If we get this box, we're going to get 1 Lord Exultant, then we're going to get 10 Infractors that we can also assemble as Tormentors, and then we're going to get 2 units of 3 Flawless Blades. I do think, personally, that this is a really good combat patrol and I like it a lot because, first of all the miniatures inside of this box are brand new miniatures and that's always great. And aside from that, at the moment of making this video, we are talking about a brand new army, which means that the range is new. And at the moment of making this video, the Emperor's Children have 4 different units and 4 different characters. Inside of this combat patrol we're getting 3 of those units and 1 of the characters. Like, for me, I like a lot this combat patrol. I think that it's very good, and the only way to make this combat patrol even better will be to change 1 of those Flawless Blades for 1 unit of Noise Marines, and then we will have the most perfect combat patrol ever, and everyone that wants to start an Emperor's Children army, they should just get 3 of them. So it is not perfect, but it's very good. So let's talk a little bit more about those units inside of this box, and let's start with the character, that Lord Exultant. This new Emperor's Children Lord is awesome. I like a lot this kit actually, because it brings a lot of different customization options, a lot of different weapons, and that's something that I will always welcome. I know that I say this all the time and I repeat it always, but I really like when we have a generic character with a lot of different options, because that's it, it's a generic character. I should be able to customize a generic character to make it look like my own, and I want my generic character to look different than your generic character. And I won't be able to get 2 generic characters and make them look different from each other. And especially here, because it's possible for someone to buy this combat patrol twice and get 2 completely different Lord Exultants. And by itself the miniature looks awesome, so as I said, this is a really good looking character. Then inside of this box we have 10 Infractors. Regarding the Infractors, it's a really cool looking kit because it's similar to the Space Marines Assault Intercessors. I mean, we're going to get 5 different bodies and those are going to be duplicated. So we're going to get 5 and 5 that they are going to be exactly the same. But that's not a bad thing, that's actually really good in my opinion, and I will tell you why. Yes, we're going to have 5 bodies. Then we're going to be able to customize them with different weapons, different arms, different heads, and they're going to feel different. But duplicated bodies also means that we're going to have duplicated icons, special weapons, and basically everything. I know that there's some people that will just prefer to have 10 different bodies, but I don't think that that's a bad thing. In my case, I prefer to have just 5 and then those 5 duplicated. I'm going to compare that with the Rubric Marines or the Khorne Berserkers. Let's talk about the Rubric Marines. It's a unit of 10, we have 10 different bodies, but it's meant to be like that. So if we buy 1 box, we only get 1 special weapon, we only get 1 icon, and we only get enough bits to make 1 aspiring sorcerer. Same issue with the Khorne Berserkers. Yes, we have a unit of 10 different bodies, but we cannot make 2 units of 5 complete because we only have 1 icon in the box and we don't have enough plasma pistols. That's why I'm so happy about the Infractors kit, because with this combat patrol we can have 2 fully equipped units of 5 Infractors and then 5 Infractors, or we can have a big unit of 10. And let's not forget that we can assemble these miniatures alternatively as Tormentors. So if we get this combat patrol, we can have 5 fully equipped Infractors and 5 fully equipped Tormentors. That means that we are going to have like a lot of extra different bits that will allow us to do some conversions and kit bashing. That's always great. And aside from that, everyone that assembled the Champions of Slaanesh box when it was announced, there's 20 of these miniatures. There's 10 Infractors, 10 Tormentors that can be assembled in any way. So everyone mentioned that it was fully possible to assemble those 20 miniatures in 20 different ways, because there's a lot of extra arms inside of that box. There's arms throwing grenades, arms recharging weapons, and each unit have different weapons as well. Even we have special weapons. So I'm very happy with this specific kit. For being a battle line kit, it's really good. And to finish this combat patrol, we have 2 units of flawless blades. Again, this is another good looking kit with a lot of different options. Each of these 3 miniatures have 3 different head options. That means that in total there's 9 of them, so each one of them is going to look a little bit more unique. There's also a helmeted option for each one of them, which is really good. Because even if we get more than 6 at some point, it's weird to have 2 miniatures with the exact same face, but it's okay to have 2 miniatures with the same helmet. There's different poses for them, and we can assemble them with a big sword or 2 smaller swords, which is also nice. At the moment of making this video, there's no difference in game. It doesn't matter if they have a big one or 2 small swords, it doesn't matter at all. Maybe in the future that can change, of course, but at the moment of making this video, we can assemble these miniatures in whichever way that we want. Well, not only at the moment of making this video, we always can assemble the miniatures in the way that we want. The flawless blades looks great. I really like the detail of the miniature, I like the size of the miniature, and I like all the decoration around the miniature. They look a little bit more unique and more special, which is always great. And again, there's extra poses, there's a lot of things to do with them, and they look very cool. And basically, that's why I like this combat patrol so much, because of the miniature selection. It's not just that they are new, it's also all the things that we can do with those miniatures. Me, as someone that I like to assemble and paint miniatures the most, this box looks like really good and really tempting. But always remember the most important thing about every single combat patrol. The best thing about the combat patrols is the discount. It's cheaper to get these miniatures inside of the combat patrol rather than buying them individually. And that's why, from my perspective, here we have 2 possible scenarios. If we want to get every single miniature inside of this box, then this is a perfect combat patrol and we should go for it, because of course we're going to be using a nice discount on those miniatures. I do think that it can also be okay if we have in a combat patrol one unit that maybe we were not thinking about buying, but now that it's a discounted price, it looks much more interesting for us. That's also nice, that's also a really good deal. But if we buy a combat patrol that contains units that we don't like or we don't want just because they are discounted, are we really saving money on those? Anyway, my opinion is that the Emperor's Children Combat Patrol is a solid foundation for an Emperor's Children army. It can also be even bought twice, because with the main character we can assemble him with different weapon options, so like that it will feel different, and we can have basically 10 Tormentors, 10 Infractors, and then it's true that we're going to have a lot of flawless blades. But this is a new army, so I don't think that it's that bad to have many units of them. I mean, the range is not that big anyway. I consider this combat patrol to be very good by itself, and also the potential of being able to buy it twice, it's always there, that's always good. But that's just my opinion, and again, I would like to remind you that you can let me know in the comments what you think about this combat patrol. Do you think that it's good? Do you think that it's okay? It could be better, it could be worse. If you are thinking about getting it, let me know all of that in the comments. In my case, I feel the temptation of Slaanesh, so you can also let me know if you think that I should get it for the channel and we can paint all those miniatures together. I think maybe it could be fun. It will be something similar to what I did with the Blood Angels, that I got the combat patrol and I started assembling and painting the miniatures, so I have like a small Blood Angels force. I could do something similar with the Emperor's Children. For sure they look very unique and it will be fun, so of course you can let me know about that as well. And what else can I say about the new Emperor's Children Combat Patrol? Because just by saying that I'm tempted about getting one, that means that I really like this Combat Patrol. It's not that just that I'm saying, oh, it looks nice, it looks good. No, I like it so much that I'm actually tempted about just getting one because of getting it and painting it and having like this small project. So that's it, I like it a lot. And with all of that being said, this is the end of the video. These were my first thoughts and impressions about the new Emperor's Children Combat Patrol. So as always, if you are still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.